What happens when the master manipulator, the man who prided himself on being the puppet master pulling every string in WWE, suddenly discovers that the very beasts he unleashed, the very forces he molded and controlled for years, have now found common ground and are beginning to unite against him? Paul Heyman, the so-called wise man, the architect behind decades of schemes, betrayals, and power plays, just experienced the kind of nightmare that even he never planned for, and his reaction was nothing short of a complete psychological breakdown. This isn't just another dramatic storyline. This is an implosion of everything Heyman has built, a catastrophic moment where his empire of manipulation begins to collapse brick by brick. Subscribe right now because what's happening to Heyman's world is a slow-motion car crash that no one can look away from, and every fan needs to witness the fallout. Before we get deeper into the story, make sure you are representing the giants at the heart of this conflict by grabbing the Paul Heyman Wiseman merchandise, Roman Reigns' OTC1 collection, and Brock Lesnar's Beast Incarnate gear, with links available in the description below. Choose your side now, because the storm that is coming will divide the WWE Universe like never before. Fans are still buzzing over Brock Lesnar's shocking backstage show of solidarity with Roman Reigns, a moment so rare and so emotional that it felt like the earth shifted beneath the WWE. But if that wasn't enough, the true eruption happened when Heyman found out. His entire strategy for survival has always depended on keeping Lesnar and Reigns apart, keeping them locked in an endless war of destruction, and when the news broke that they had not only spoken but possibly shared respect, the Wiseman's face turned from calm arrogance to sheer panic in an instant. A nervous staffer delivered the news, trembling, terrified of the reaction, and Heyman exploded with rage, slamming his fist against the table and screaming, "They're not supposed to talk, they're supposed to hate each other." The fury in his voice was followed by something far more chilling, silence, then a whispered confession caught on hidden cameras, "I created two monsters, and now they're coming for me." It was a moment that revealed the truth. Heyman wasn't in control anymore. He never truly was. His empire of power was only possible because he kept Lesnar and Reigns divided, manipulating their rage like gasoline on fire. But now that the fire has turned toward him, his empire is burning from within. Backstage sources confirm that Heyman didn't stop there, his fear escalating into paranoia as he frantically grabbed his phone and called Seth Rollins, his voice trembling, desperate for some reassurance, for some plan that could save him from what feels inevitable. He's increased his personal security, ordered private meetings with faction members, and is desperately trying to create wedges, whispering lies, planting seeds of doubt, doing anything he can to stop the impossible alliance that could erase him completely from the chessboard. Meanwhile, Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns are reportedly amused by Heyman's meltdown, laughing at the very sight of him unraveling, and to them it's the ultimate confirmation that his control is gone. Imagine the irony. After decades of manipulation, it's the manipulator himself who has become the victim of his own creation. For years, Heyman's brilliance came from keeping the two titans divided, but now united, they are the most destructive force he's ever seen, and worse, they know exactly how to break him because they were once his weapons. The WWE Universe is asking the only question that matters. Can Paul Heyman, the man who has always claimed to be 10 steps ahead, really find a way to survive when his empire is collapsing around him? Will desperation force him to pull off one final brilliant scheme, or will his paranoia and fear drive him into mistakes so great that they destroy his legacy for good? The truth is, Heyman has never looked weaker, never looked more vulnerable, and his reaction has already sent shockwaves through every corner of WWE. His trembling voice, his panic-stricken eyes, his whispered realization that the monsters are now coming for him, these are images that fans will never forget. This proves beyond all doubt that even the wise men, even the so-called master manipulator, can be undone when his creations stop fighting each other and start targeting him. If you are hooked by this shocking development, smash that like button right now, subscribe for non-stop updates, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a single twist in this unfolding chaos. And we want to hear from you. What should Paul Heyman do now? How can he possibly respond to this impossible threat? And is this truly the end of his empire? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get this conversation going and buckle up because the next chapter in this war is going to be the most explosive WWE has ever seen. What happens when the ultimate chess master of WWE realizes his carefully constructed empire is starting to crumble from the inside because his two most powerful creations are no longer enemies, but potentially brothers in arms? Paul Heyman, the self-proclaimed wise man, just had his entire world flipped upside down when news of Brock Lesnar's emotional backstage moment with Roman Reigns reached his ears, and his reaction was so intense that it's now being described as one of the most shocking meltdowns in WWE history. This isn't just your standard behind-the-scenes drama. This is a full-blown nuclear explosion that threatens to tear apart everything Heyman has built over decades of manipulation and control. Subscribe right now because the Wiseman's empire is collapsing in real time, and you don't want to miss a single detail of the chaos. Before we dive deeper into this stunning revelation, make sure you're representing the icons who are at the center of this war. Grab Paul Heyman's Wiseman merchandise, Roman Reigns' OTC 1 collection, and Brock Lesnar's legendary Beast Incarnate gear. All links are in the description below. Support the channel, gear up, and most importantly, choose your side because this conflict is only just beginning. The wrestling universe is still reeling from the sight of Brock Lesnar, the beast who has spent years destroying Roman Reigns, showing a moment of solidarity with the tribal chief backstage, a gesture that has left fans speechless. But if that shook the world, the true fireworks detonated when Heyman discovered this unlikely bond. His response wasn't just anger, it was pure devastation, an eruption of fear and fury that will change the landscape of WWE forever. Imagine this. A nervous staffer rushed to Heyman's private room, his hands shaking, his voice quivering as he delivered the words no one thought Heyman would ever hear. Brock and Roman, they're talking. In an instant, the smug confidence drained from Heyman's face. Panic replaced arrogance. He slammed his fist against the table, his voice breaking as he shouted, "They're not supposed to talk, they're supposed to hate each other." And then, in a chilling moment caught on hidden cameras, Heyman muttered the words that revealed his greatest fear. "I created two monsters, and now they're coming for me." The scene ended with Heyman frantically calling Seth Rollins, his voice trembling with desperation, begging for reassurance, for strategy, for anything to hold his crumbling empire together. This moment exposed what Heyman has always tried to hide. His power was never